Oh no! Oh no! No!
Inside that one order.
Oh no! Oh no! Not her again! Just go away! Leave me alone, damn it!
This ball is mine. Starve, I do not care.
It's Minnesota Circuit Judge Hannah Dugan. I'm really screwed now. I'm so hungry and she has my food bowl. This is not fair. That's my food bowl. You, just go, now.
It is my precious.
Well, maybe I can fight her and scare her away from my bowl. A good karate chop, or a kick in the mouth. Who do I think I'm kidding? She will just sit on me and it will be all over for me. I'm begging you, just go, I'm starving. My goose is cooked. It is over for me. The horror. The horror. The horror. Oh
Not
no!
gonna go again.
Oh no!
Stop that. Oh, here we go. The absolute horror. The horror. The horror of modern life. Everything is nuts, isn't it? It's totally crazy. How's the sound now, Tom? Let's see. I'm gonna do something here with my mom. And there we go. Gonna be my puppet again. So I thought I'm watching the news today and it just gets gee, Tom says that's funny. Yeah, I thought that was cute. I like that animation program I used. And it's fine, good. I'm still messing around trying to figure out how to get good sound. Of course, it doesn't help to have my voice or anything, but so I'm watching the news today, and it's like, what? You know what's happening now in Minnesota? I got on the internet, and there was Tim Waltz decrying this horrible political assassination. And then we're slowly hearing news and it just gets more and more weird of all the people to have done this. So, are we talking about someone who's just gone mad? Or, I don't know. Let's see. Let me get this over here. Whatever it is, it didn't turn out to be really, really odd. Probably not make any sense. And then everyone wants to play it for their own political advantages. And it's like, it looks like this guy wasn't all there, right? It was really mixed up. So, if you didn't notice, Cynthia, wow. Thank you, Cynthia, for showing up. It's wonderful to see you. Oh, I know you've been watching when you get a chance, but you finally got in. You're gonna have to tell me in DMs. So I'll know what's causing this if you figured it out for your phone. Because you can tell some other people. Thank you for joining. Are you watching any of this news, Cynthia? It's like really, really bizarre. So let's see. Got some pictures here. So I'm gonna start sharing them. So like I said, at first all it was like Tim Walz, the governor of Minnesota, was grandstanding about the assassination. And it's definitely an assassination. But what happened was overnight And this is the best I know. It could be wrong, the actual facts. But overnight, there was a person masquerading as a police officer, and this person had his own car set up as a police car. And I'll go over that. We now know why. It has to do with he works for a security firm. So he had a big police car, and he went up to several Democrat, two different households of Democrats, and they both were involved in politics. The first lady, what is a current state Democrat rep, and he shot her and her husband, and both of them passed away. And then this killer went to another house, and a former state Dem chairman, representative, something like that, and he shot that person. And my understanding is they both were current. Oh, thank you, Tom. Thank you for correcting me. And for some reason, it seems pretty miraculous, but for some reason, after the first shootings, the police officers or the police department decided to check on this other Democrat lawmaker, and maybe they were doing checks of numbers of them, but the real cops, pulled up to the second lawmaker's home, and apparently he'd already shot these people. And then my understanding was the fake cop started shooting at the other cops, the real cops, and then he ended up fleeing on foot, leaving his fake police car there. It's most bizarre. Here, let me play something here. And what was really weird about the first lady and her husband.
I know that people will be hurt
here
by that vote, and we worked very hard.
Let me start it again.
By that vote, and I know that people will be hurt by that vote, and we worked very hard to try to get a budget deal that wouldn't include that provision.
DFL Speaker Emerita Melissa Hortman emotional following the House's adjournment from a special session Monday. Hortman was the lone DFL lawmaker to cast a vote to cut Minnesota Care access for undocumented immigrants. It's a move she made with a heavy heart.
I did what leaders do. I stepped up and I got the job done for the people of Minnesota.
The bill was deeply unpopular with members of the DFL caucus. Members have repeatedly expressed frustration that the bill was part of a compromise, one that would ensure the necessary GOP votes to pass the rest of the state budget.
We are tremendously disappointed and gut-wrenched at this decision, at this compromise that compromises our communities that are most vulnerable.
Yes, and as Tom says, she looks, she's shaken up. I wonder if she knew something was coming. She was the only Democrat lawmaker to vote with Republicans to, if one of the provisions in their budget bill was to stop the spending of illegal aliens from receiving free health care, public health care. And then this happens. Literally like the day or that night, she's assassinated. So it just seems so bizarre. And of course Tim Walz just had to get on there and grandstand. And it just gets weirder and weirder as we look it up. So within the last couple hours, the police were showing the interior of the fake police car that the assassin used, and inside were noting flyers, handwritten noting flyers. I'll show that to you. And this that this person, the assassin, had written by hand. So let me show you that. Let me quiet this. And there we go. Okay.
We don't have any direct links. However, there were some flyers that said no kings within the suspect vehicle. And as we know, the planned events throughout the state of Minnesota today is a no kings event.
And so the reference materials that were inside of the vehicle that we saw, we have no understanding that any of the no kings events would be targeted, but we also find it of interest to the public that these would be in there, and we want to alert everybody until we do that. Because this is such an active investigation with information not knowing right now, we feel it's an obligation to all of you and the public across the state of Minnesota to alert you of it, and that's why the colonel made the notation of recommending people don't go today. But the individuals are not in custody yet, and so we want to make sure as that very active manhunt is underway and continues, that we make sure that we're sharing that, and that's part of why we're making the recommendation. As to the investigation and the list, we are working through that now and talking to individuals, and we'll continue to. What I would say with the list is there's a large number of people. That's all I can say about it. We will work through all of that, what the motivations of this are, and we'll provide that as you can. This is really a public safety announcement for everybody so that we can make sure people are informed and make safe decisions throughout the day.
So this right here, you see the no kings, that was on the seat of the car. Now, the report said he had a manifesto. I don't know if they mean that this was the manifesto, but they said the fellow had a manifesto, and it's been reported that they also found a list of about 70 names, and all 70 were apparently Democrats. A state governor, I don't know if that's Tim Walz, I think it was another Democrat state governor. State governor, Elon Homar, I forget how her name is saying. But she was on the list apparently, and also abortion providers. So it seems, this all seems very weird. Was he assassinating these Democrats? And then putting the no kings flyers, tossing them when he left the scene to try to throw people off? Or, as things are going now, is he just totally messed up and nothing's gonna make sense even when we find out everything? So, they finally came out with the name of the killer who put his picture up. He's a 57-year-old man. His name is Vance Luther Bolter. Bolter. 57 years old. Let's see. Here's another picture. And then the strange thing comes out. That he has ties to, let me find this here. He has ties to Tim Walz. Now, I must say, it's very tenuous ties, but let's see, I'll read this from you. His ties are, Vance Luther Bolter, 57, was appointed by Walz, that's Governor Walz of Minnesota, in 2019 to serve a 4-year stint on the governor's workforce development board. He also, under Governor, what's his fellow's name? Former Governor Mark Dayton in 2016, also served on the Governor's Workforce for Development Council, and that was in 2016. So, like I said, it's getting so weird, so very weird. And Tom says the list sounds like he was trying to touch off a revolution. Yes, the assumption would be that it was someone on the right that did it. Yeah, it seems so bizarre. And but also to have a married 57-year-old man that, at this point in his life that he wants to be the assassin. It is very bizarre, very bizarre. And I kind of like the fact that the police are jumping out and giving me information. Not holding back, not trying to get all the narratives straight. So they put out the no kings thing right away. And then the New York Post and some other places got the name, so they must have got that from maybe from police sources. And Tom says he didn't think that he would get caught. Yeah. Well, how many people would he have been able to have done this to? But it appears to be very good police work. Because you're right, Tom. This guy could have just kept going down his list and killing people all night long. So, yeah. So for some reason, and they had quite totally explained it. They found the first lady, the lady we saw that was scared, who voted with the Republicans. They went to that crime scene, and the police force started contacting other Democrats, probably because they saw the list. And one police car was sent out, at least one police car, was sent out to this, the second victim's home, and there was the shooter. So it was very good police work to act on that, probably because of the list. So you gotta get that police force some credit, because this guy just would have kept going down his list. So yeah. So and so the reason why I discovered the reason why he had access to police items, because everyone is saying he was dressed just like a policeman with a pony badge. He had the taser and the pepper spray on his belt, and the police car looked real good and had the lights on it. Well, it's been disclosed that he works for a security company. Let me make this bigger. Praetorian, like in Roman Praetorian security. Take on its website, it says Praetorian Security. But this is why he had access to this. If you look at that car, and it would just be a matter of making it look a little more like a normal county, city, state police car. So let's see. Here we go again. I don't know who this is a picture of, but Praetorian. So this is the security. So I don't know if this is this man or just an employee. But so it really makes sense why it was, why he thought he'd get away with it. He just probably fixed up one of these security cars to look more like, some other departments, police departments vehicle. So yeah, it's very, very bizarre, isn't it? So what's going on here? And if the truth ever comes out, I'm sure it's gonna be bizarre. So is it a guy who's gone nuts? He's gone nuts, and is he part of an op where he got played? Maybe some feelings. Just because you're on some development board, I'm not gonna say that makes him a hardcore Democrat, though. I can't imagine Tim Walsh tolerating anyone else being on anything, but that doesn't seem like a major position. I don't know. Maybe if somebody knows something about it. But that was really interesting. So, yeah. Does anyone want to add something in chat? Anything else that you're learning? So, let me take a look. Let me see if anything else is coming up. Let's see. I'll check these sources. See if they see anything new. Let's see. Yeah, over on Nick Sartor's channel. Cause like I said, right away, Tim Walsh came out and started grandstanding. So Nick is reminding people of Tim Walsh saying, I'm friends with school shooters. He says apparently he's been with political assassins. He appoints to the government boards. All we had to do is just come out and say this is despicable. You're not grandstand. And we're gonna let the police do their jobs, and we hope they find this despicable person. And that's all. Because yeah, let's face it, political assassination is not cool at all. And Tom says, let's see, government is calling for Walsh to resign. Okay, well, I don't think anyone's gonna listen to Engelman, so. But yeah, don't play these political games, guys. It's awful. Say it's awful, and then let the police do their jobs. If it's a right winger, it's a right winger. There's nuts on both sides. So, but there sure the hell seems to be a multitude on the left side. But yeah. What were you saying, Tom? You said calling for Waltz to resign. Yeah. So let's see what else. People are saying. And that's the vehicle. Okay. I don't see anything else right now. Anything else popping up? Another thing going on, obviously, I'm going to turn this off, is Israel and Orion. So far, I guess four people have lost their lives in Israel. Iran's reporting about 60 people were killed in a apartment building. Though I hate to say, the Iranians probably don't care because I think they're targeting buildings where the traitorous Islamic regime. But again, I'm not gonna sit here and cheerlead people dying, but that's what they're reporting, and I'm sure that could be true. I don't think the people around here, if the numbers are true, 90 million in the country, and now maybe 3 million are supporting this regime. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But it looks like, from what I'm seeing, Israel has pretty much their dominance over Iran, which in a couple of days is pretty amazing. Now, does that mean, planes won't get shot down? No. I'm sure that they'll manage that. Will be the days. And Tom says DFL State Senator John Hoffman and his spouse are out of surgery and expected to survive. So that's good news. Bad news that they were shot, obviously, by whatever the motives turn out to be for this the lunatic. And so that's good news. It's a shame that the first victim there, that lady and her husband both passed. So, and like I said, it looks like it could have been so much worse if it wasn't for the police acting right away. Yeah, Cynthia says that's good. Yes, it's good. So, on the one hand, you have the terrible news of the two losing their lives, and possibly the two being shot. But then you have quick police work that, I can imagine the reason why they went to the second person, if they found the list, because that was second on the list or something. I don't know. I don't even know if they had the list. That's what's so strange. They didn't have the list until they found the shooter and his car. So, yeah, whatever, it was good thinking. Whatever Tops did, so it'll be interesting to learn, when we hear about the reasoning and everything. But they apparently saved a lot of lives. And so it's, so that's wonderful. But the other thing about Iran and Israel is, let's see, they had one attack the other day, and I think that's where 4 Israeli citizens ended up dying, and they also took out like 7 apartment buildings in a particular region in Israel. you gotta remember Israel's tiny nation. So if those bombs land, those ballistic missiles land, they're gonna hit something, most likely. So and then Tel Aviv would like they had a second attack, and Tel Aviv was hit last night early or very early in the morning while it was still dark, and I didn't hear much about the damage. Let's see. When it started, thank you, Lars. No, I started an hour earlier. Thank you for checking, though. Thank you. And I just thought I'll go over some basic news, and just to let you up, Lawrence, if you get a chance, look at the beginning. We talk about what looks to be a political assassination in the U.S. of some Minnesota state representatives, and it's gotten really bizarre. So, and so I brought up on that to talk a little bit about Israel. You don't know much about what's going on, but there was the attack. 100 missiles launched in one of them, and 40 in the other. Again, you can't always believe what Israel's getting out. But my understanding was they were saying that Iran, before this started, has 70,000 ballistic missiles. So if they're only launching 140 at a time, whatever Israel's done inside there is pretty amazing. But it looks like they have air superiority inside of Iran, and things are really cooking up. One of the reasons that there hasn't been an uprising is I think that people are being told to stay indoors in Iran, and Israel's just going to work to keep on softening up the regime. Meyer Tisi's pretty good at getting some news about this. I watched him earlier. If you want something, he's a Persian, but a UK citizen, of Persian descent, and he's usually got some good updates about what's happening, because his father's kind of a political prisoner right now in Iran. They're not refusing to let him go. So, but he's still getting messages from him, so hopefully they stay safe. But the people are being told to stay indoors for the next few days at least, while Israel works on taking down more targets. And like I said, it looks like they pretty much have air superiority within the country. One thing he said was there was 3 flights, in Iran. There was 3 flights out using commercial airlines. And you gotta remember, the airspace in Iran from the government is supposed to be closed down. So everyone assumes that these are the family members of the regime that are flying out. So there's 3 plane loads flying out of the country. I imagine to either to Russia, no one said for sure, but probably to Russia or some other friendly, one of the stand countries or something. Maybe Pakistan, I don't know. But, so that's happening. And so far I've only heard that there's been those 2 different waves of attack. Again, that seems pretty amazing. That's all they've been able to get off in this time. So it looks like things may really be falling apart in Iran. But it's kind of like they say, I remember when again, I'm kind of a military expert, but the air power doesn't win war. Boots do, because you can bomb the heck out of somebody, but if they stay in power, no one else takes over, they're still in power. They just have fewer resources now. So, but it's kind of sounding like at some point there's going to be war getting, and there'll be a general uprising. So we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully this time, this time this regime will be taken down. But like I said before, you never know. You know, after regime change, things can get very messy. You know, Iraq is worse now than it was under Saddam Hussein. So, but everything seems very coordinated. Very coordinated. So that's interesting. I haven't seen anything about the protests, nationwide protests. Is anyone seeing any news about that? What's it? Nationwide. In Milwaukee. Alright, I see a little thing here. Doesn't look that massive. 奇怪了，什么用速写？I'll show that one. Yeah, not much. How about you folks? Are you seeing anything on the news? Maybe I'm missing it? Yeah, Tom says no, and then it's all been about the assassination. Yeah, Dan Lawrence said Israel took out a good few military commanders and nuke scientists yesterday. Trump White House did a nice misinformation thing on the news. Mark says hello, and nothing. It starts at 4 Central. Is that the protest or is that the parade? I think the parade's underway, right? And Cynthia says I haven't seen anything. Yeah, interesting. So yeah, let me know, Mark. I'll wait for it to catch up. 4 Central is at the protest? 4 p.m. So they have a few hours for protesting and then they can ransack everything. Yes, Mark. Okay. 4 p.m. Is that 4 p.m. Eastern Time Central? Let me know that. So we'll start watching that when that happens. So, okay, let me download this. I'm gonna try something different. Just before dark. Yeah, everything goes crazy then, right? Let's see. I can download this. Whoa! All this protest. But I have a little folder. And then I just drop everything into my VLC player. And there we go. So this must be Milwaukee. Huh? There we go.
Back in 7.
Try it again. Doesn't look that special.
Back in 7.
They all seem to have a certain face. 外国点。我们然后一直走，别紧张的。慢下来了啊！I just went to a step. You're so unhappy about everything. Just 零分一点。
Back in 7.
See, Lawrence says dictatorship. They're like Russia, China, North Korea. Israel destroyed Saddam nuke program in the 80s. Yeah, that's true. During Iran war, but 15 years of sanction followed to weaken them. Yes. The no kings were scheduled for different times for different cities. Okay. Make it look on them. Yeah. Look at them. And it's all so many white liberal females. Oh, damn it. Yeah, why can't I just be a bunch of silly men? But, it's And you're all angry, you're all upset, and you just imagine, the ones that have kids, and probably a mess. Ugh, just nasty to be around. Warren says, I live in Spain, hopefully you will always stay neutral. Yeah. There's something to be said about neutrality. Being the world's cop like the United States. I don't know. It hasn't helped us any, has it? I don't know. I don't think so. So, yeah. Let's see. So that's the only protest I saw so far. I'm sure there's more. They just love to get out in the hot sun and imagine the smell. 个地坝拉的斑球湾好美，完了，我以外以前里的哈得挺像。Nancy put up AOC for president next time Warren says. Sunrise the band. Take the female Hispanic vote. Well, it'd be funny, they'll be good for us, she really is low IQ, but so many Democrats are. I mean, look at Maxine Waters. I mean, that woman, she's massively corrupt, but she ain't bright. I mean, she's been there for forever. So, yeah, AOC. Wow. Genius. I had a thing where I did some memes for AOC. I had to find it. I thought that was pretty funny. But I just went over some different AOC memes. She's so memeable. She's like a meme factory. Every time she opens her mouth. So Tom says they would be better off putting up a cereal box or a stone or maybe a duck. It's cute, beautiful for this duck. It's a little duckling. Make your sons too. I'll make both for the duck. And then put some strings like I have on the duck and it'll be like another Biden administration. Quack, 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 quack. Lark says BD. The talking horse, yeah, Mr. Ed, the talking horse. Quack, quack. Quack, quack, quack. Auto pen, quack, quack. Stop the little dog foot. I can't have a signal here. Quack. Guardians or oligarchs. No teens. Tom says no teens on Fox Live. Oh, let me check that out. Quack, quack. I wanted that for president. Let's see. Fox Live. Oh, I did. 那边后给他们do act like that all day. Wish somebody think some funny me. No one else can amuse you. You might as well amuse yourself, right? So I'm doing good at that. Okay, I think I got it. I think I know how to do this. I'll show that. Let me see. I think I know how to do this now. Browse your source. You go to this. Browse your source.
I mean, she is making a good point here. You got
China. Let's see what happens. Should I do it right?
Continue to resist the breaches of our Constitution, but let us also be clear with our vision and demands. Together, we can fight for a democracy which is authentic and inclusive to all people.
We can
redefine who we are and what democracy looks like in this country. Together, we can and will prevail.
just hear quack, quack, quack now. And every time these people talk, you'll be quack, 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 quack. Just put your death up for President William, damn it.
All right. We all know that art, culture, and
Yes, Lauren
storytelling
says.
are.
Let's see. Lauren says she was happy to change her pronouns to me.
Some of you may know as Guante. Please welcome Kyle Tran Myrie.
Oh, look at the little dang little king crowns with the X on it. Everything. They just suck at meaning, don't they? They can't mean no X up.
This is about grief and how we hold it and what we might do
grief.
with it.
Let's see.
The ancestor on my shoulder doesn't tell me to put the brick down or that the weight isn't
grief,
worth it.
Everyone.
I'm sure
wow,
many of you are
propaganda
familiar with
live,
that
indeed.
heaviness, right? Whether guilt or grief or just the daily shipwreck of the news. All this information we already know. How things are bad. How they've always been bad for some of us, and how shining a light on the bad thing doesn't
getting a
change
job
it,
might help
but
for it to be better.
be a first step.
Stupid Tommy.
How a big march like this can be a first step, but is never a destination. How going back to normal.
You can watch it, but it's just so tiring. It's never been good for so many of us. Yeah, it's like, get a job, maybe things will get better. What is no kings? Oh, Lawrence, thank you for asking. This is here is in the States. The radical the commies and everything, they decided that, they're gonna call, President Trump king. And so, they have all of these demonstrations, called, and you're calling it no kings. No kings. So in other words, you're trying to say down with Trump, because he's a king. And this king can be stopped by a district court judge. Whenever he tries to do something, this king can get stopped by a district court judge. Who's not supposed to have the power, but the district court judge can put a kibosh into anything Trump does. Yeah, so much like what a real king is one. So, the 4th of July is no king. They gotta ruin everything, don't they? These miserable SOBs. And it's so bad here, Cynthia says. Then they should go where they think it's bad. Indeed. I couldn't say it any better, Cynthia. Go. Just go. But you know what happens? You know what happens? You know why? Because as soon as they go to the better place, it becomes a hellhole because they're there. They're bringing their misery there. So there's nowhere they can go that won't be miserable. It's impossible. No place. What is it like, what's the, I can't think of that word. It's a Greek word. It kind of means paradise, but it actually means nowhere, because it doesn't exist. But yeah, let's see. They all think they're gonna make everything perfect, but yeah, as soon as they step to wherever the new place is, it becomes hell. Because these people live in hell. They are hell. Their mindset is hellish. So, no happiness for unhappy people. Warren says, I will unleash the 4 dukes of hell on these 3 kings. Yeah. Yes, exactly, a utopia. Doesn't that mean like no place and nowhere? Nowhere? Yeah. I should know that one. Utopia. Yeah, they all think that they're bringing about the utopia, which means nowhere. I'm not mistaken. See. Warren says, not king. Trump Emperor. Yeah, the Trump Emperor. During Trump's first presidency, they had that Italian bloke be a Trump Emperor. That was wonderful. You were trying to mock Trump, but it was so awesome. The Trump Emperor bloke. Let's see, maybe if I could find a picture of that. That was wonderful. Tell them to show. Whoa. Yeah. Island for trunk. Oh yeah, here we go. That was so wonderful. We open this up. Okay, helpful. In case you never saw, at least if I can find a full body one. Here we go. Let's see this picture. All right, let me pop it in here. Okay. Here we go. And here it comes.
We'll keep our eye on this
No,
and much
shut
more
up,
after this 2-minute break.
Okay, we did read that one. And I went and put up the picture here. See, I got the full body one. Here. There we are. I'll just give it a second. For some reason it takes a second to pop up. Here we go. Is it? This was in Italy. I guess it was a political protest, but this was so awesome. This was during his first administration. It's wonderful. The word says Tom Cruise ruined 4th of July too, and does the same in London at Wimbledon. Can you explain to me how that is? How does he ruin it? I might not understand that. Let's see. Well, I thought I had tea touchy, so that's good enough. But that was just wonderful. We got Emperor Trump. Movie born on the 4th of July. Oh, I understand. Thank you. I'm so dim. I can't help it. 这喝醉酒累过往餐 doesn't make you wise. 你难得剖析条自带。Let's see. Anything else happening? We having fun? Anyone have anything that they'd like to talk about? Or bring up? I haven't looked at any news for the UK or Europe. I haven't looked at for any of that yet. So I just see what's going on there. It's like which awful publication would I look at? Would I look at Chinese? Would I look at BBC? It's all bad, all rotten. You gotta get more better sources on that. But let's see. So Peter Starmer to launch new national inquiry into grooming gangs. That's basically gangs that are preying on underage girls. And it usually turned out to be like Pakistani men. And Starmer was one of the people that was covering it up. And a lot of this is from more than a decade ago. And they covered it up. They put Tommy Robinson into prison over his first time in prison because he was trying to show from outside. He was trying to show and talk about the trial. And in the UK, they masked you from even being able to talk about court cases while they're going on. So, it kind of covers them in the long run because time goes on and people get less angry about things. So, Mark says Texas City residents ordered to shelter in place as huge fires break out at the marathon. Ooh, wow, oh boy. Okay. And we'll look that up. I'll go look that up. Texas City. Yeah, that's a huge refinery, is my understanding. So Mark's telling us that. Tom says in Charlotte, North Carolina, police are telling protesters to remove masks from weed. They do have the presidential order saying that masks in the public spaces are illegal. So, and Mark says they're still protesting about the King of Spain ruling Mexico. Well, I tell you what, in modern day Mexico, it's more like the Aztec times than it is like the rule of the Spaniards, because mass graves, beheadings, it just goes on, year after year. It's so bloody in Mexico. Well, with all the narco gangs, they are savage, very savage. So let's see. Well, it says got it for Trump, but a Welsh friend baptized him Trumper. Wonderful. Do you happen to be Welsh, Lawrence? You happen to be Welsh? I know you live in Spain, but when I think about Welsh, I think of like the actor Anthony Burton in that lovely way he had talking. And but I know the Welsh go back in Britain for a long time. Are the Welsh considered Celtic people? Let me know, because I know there's also ties. What do I know? And it's probably correct. Was one of my understandings was under the Germanic invaders, the Welsh were driven out of their lands and many fled to northern France. And then when what was basically the Vikings, it was just one generation removed. William the Conqueror, father was a Viking, conquered big parts of northern France and Normandy. That when they came back, many of the Welsh also came back with, but I may be wrong. So yell at me, tell me I'm an idiot. And Mark says yes. Are you picturing me trying to rape Israel back because of the Muslim vote? Yes. Once you make foreign people your constituents, you then have to then pander to their concerns, don't you? So sad to say, that's the future, isn't it? You're gonna pander to them and your concern. So what? Pro-Israel, now they're pro-Palestinian. It just goes to show. Let me see something about that Texas City fire. When you see those, let's see, I can get that on text. When you see those big fires at refineries, those take off. It's really something. So we're gonna be surging from that. Yeah, here we go. Let me see if I can download this. Nope. Let me try. Let me see if I have a link to it. Oh boy, here. Let's see, the fire at the Marathon Oil Refinery in Texas City may raise, yeah, it will. Yeah. Due to oil supply reductions, the refinery processes over 600,000 barrels daily. So, yeah. Here's another one. Let me see if I can download this one. No, okay. I'm gonna have to put it on my browser. There. And then national writers. Okay. I imagine there's better ways to be more efficient, but I'm still learning. And using here in Streamlabs, I have what's called a browser source. There we go. No? Let's see. And we make a one. Should change to have a different source. No? How did I get the complainer again?
The more dangerous we
Trying to get the fire here. Let's see. Warren says Tommy is out again. I know, but they want to jail him. Labor Party covered up the child. Yes. Keir Starmer, I understand, was in charge of some of that. Covered up the child grooming and pimping because so many of the local government in the Muslim areas were labor. Yes. Like I said, they're constituents now. And Mark says a light sweet crude refinery. And yes, that's important. Because that's the gas oil from my understanding, is the white sweet crude. Though we do refine heavy crude. We used to do that for into Venezuela. So it's can I get that refinery? The Cherokee? No. 没朋友没这个字 I have the wrong. 要几个 good fire. So over here, try it again. Or maybe I might have to do is I might have to put a new source in. Might be able to try that. Otherwise, it'd just be the commies bitching about this and that. Again, at this people. Here we go. And replay it all. Boomerang it all up. Look at this. Look at this. Horrible ending. I'll figure it out. Get me one of these. Okay, there we go. No? It's not quite chilling. I think I have to make this one then. See, if I could download the source video, you notice on that you can't always download the source video. Yeah, that's what I'm having trouble with. But, mind me being stupid here. Be patient. Well, eventually figure it out. Oh, no, I didn't get anything. Don't miss what's happened. Damn it. But it's a big fire. I'll find it. I'll keep looking if you're patient. That was a boomer. I'm past boomer. I'm not ancient. The fact that I can use any tech is amazing. Any tech at all. Yeah, all these ones don't allow me to. Yeah, okay, I got one. I got one where I can download the video. So, yeah. I'll call it Plaese movie. Oh yeah, this is a good one. Hopefully no one was hurt during this. Okay. The DLC player. Don't go I was. Here we are. Yeah, there we go. Very big one. That's a city. That's a city. This is happening in Texas City. Imagine in Texas. I should look that up. Refineries are so amazing. It's such dangerous environments. But it doesn't happen all the time.
It's not good going on in Texas City. About far.
So in the US, expect oil prices to go up. So these companies can get this stuff up and running, provided they have access to the parts for it. But no. Where it says, yeah, human sacrifice still happened in Mexico. Yes, indeed. I'm a bit of a mess. The Welsh Facebook friend, the one who called Trumperer, Trumperer, was a liberal headmistress during the Brexit days. And if you're in the US, a headmistress is like the head of a school. Like Think of Harry Potter. Yeah. She's out there paddling all the little boys' bums. Lauren says Catalonia in Spain, Bretagne, in France and Wales was movement of the same Celtic tribes in your little round boats and bizarre language. Yeah. Because, let's see, the Irish had Gaelic, right? I understand. And in the Scots have their own. What is it called? What is the Welsh language called? If you could tell me once, I'd love to. See, I probably can't pronounce it, but what is it called? Is that Gaelic? And it's and there's not that many Welsh speakers I understand. So well, you can't say that name. Bretagne in France and Wales. The same Celtic tribes. It's all fascinating. We have such a small, short history here in the United States. And you think about just UK. Compared to some areas in Europe, seem to be not as old, though you go well back, like Stone Age and the Celtic tribes. They go way back. And the Celts once covered most of Europe. So, and so one of the things that the mass immigration seems to be destroying, if you're white, say you're Irish, and also that goes for the Scots. And in his words, he's telling us the Welsh that we've been, how do you like Western UK, Britain, the islanding, these are Celtic people. And then you have Northern France. So if you wipe them out with immigration, you destroy the Celtic people. And where else in the world can the Celtic people live? Well, they come to the U.S., I guess, but you do have many Irish and Scots. I'm sure there's plenty of Welsh too. But, where's your homeland? Wipe those out, there'll be no more homeland. Everyone else can have a homeland, and no one else, but if you're Caucasian, any of your concerns, any of your past, means nothing. So Warren says, Catalonia in Spain, Bretagne in France. Okay, I already read that. News to me. Tom was saying earlier, Charlotte, North Carolina police attempt protest you remove mask. Let me see if I can find that. North Carolina? That one. Well, I had somebody that was telling me they're going to take a trip to North Carolina. Massive anti-Trump has just erupted. It's totally organic. Well, that's the Ed Krasenstein. Oh, my skin crawls when I talk about Ed Krasenstein. The Krasenstein brothers. Oh, I'm not gonna copy that. But I literally feel insects under my skin when I talk about Ed Krasenstein. Do you know who I'm talking about, Pax? The creepy little dwarf brothers, the Krasenstein brothers. Oh, gross. I'm sorry. I can go for 20 minutes about my disgust. Let's see. What it says, Brittany across from Jersey, the island of Jersey, and South English coast. Yes. Yeah, that's all. Those are all once totally Celtic people. Celtic people, yes. Let's see. So, I'm not going to click on that. Is that be a better source than Krasenstein brothers? Ooh. one thing else here, but this person was telling me they're going to North Carolina, and I don't know the name of it, but it was this area, and it was, I say it was beautiful. That's famous for handmade crafts and everything. There's one particular like valley, but it's been devastated from the hurricane Helene last year. But I was looking at pictures, and I'm like, wow, that is so stunning. So stunning and beautiful, but not at the moment. Not that the storm was a Democrat's fault, but the atrocious response. I'm not helping those people because they spent it on illegal immigrants and your housing in New York City. I still do not believe that could still can't get over that. And just saying, like in the rivers and even in this one way, there probably still bodies left over from that flood waters and everything. Town's been devastated, but you're having your yearly festival, which is nice. Keep it going. Nature is amazing. It can recover, especially talking about human life. What's over people? I forgot. North Carolina. Let's see what's you. Just some general stuff about North Carolina. We tried North Carolina. Last. Take your damn mask off, people. Okay? Somebody here saying, remember in North Carolina, you cannot wear a mask to these protests. Make sure they are enforcing that law. Yeah, here we go. Thank you, Tom. I think I found it. And it's a video I can download. Let's replace my mask. Let's see what we got. So this is a police in North Carolina. They like what? Going up and telling people to take their damn mask off. Take those damn masks off, you goofballs. Get them off. Weirdos. Hey, please. Oh, give me this free. Give me this free. Yo, where are you? Take those masks off, you weirdo. Warren says Spain could have lots of sanctuary cities by organizing places for British, French, and German Zoomers to dodge the draft to the Ukraine. Yeah, I like how Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister of the UK, is all tough and up in the face of Russia, and many people even Brits may not realize it, but I'm looking at the number. The UK has an army of about 70,000, 74,000 men, and of that number, 14,000 are for ceremonial purposes, around the palace and crap like that. So, yeah, you're really a big threat. And another thing people don't realize, the nuclear weapons that the UK has, well, they're actually Lockheed Martin's nuclear weapons. Because because the UK doesn't want to put up the expense of having the facilities for maintaining nuclear weapons. What they have is they have a contract with Lockheed Martin. Yeah, U.S. Lockheed Martin. And Lockheed Martin, those are basically their weapons, basically, because they maintain those weapons. And for the UK to use those weapons, they gotta get permission from Lockheed Martin. And I imagine, therefore, from the U.S. Yeah, once great British Empire. And let's see, you got like the UK has like 4 submarines, and they're real old and supposed to be in bad shape. And I think only 2 of them are working right now. The others are being fixed, and whether they have the money to actually fix them, and they just haven't tried. I don't know. And then also another fact I was looking up. Wow, I think the number is even smaller than this. Main battle tanks, right? The UK has only 70. It might even be like 40 or something, but we're just saying with 70 that are in battle condition that could be used in battle. But it might be less than that. And so the UK feels a lot to me like the little sissy boy, who picks fights but runs behind his brother, brother, the United States big brother, picks the fights, and then he expects the big brother to finish the fights for him. It's just a bizarre world, but that'll be the state of the United States if they keep spending, because you start spending on all this social welfare and everything. You gotta cut corners somewhere. And I hope it doesn't make you mad, but what I like to say about for the UK is, let's see, from empire to California, in 3 generations. There might be 4 when it actually happens, but can you imagine that? Wow. Now they have to be pro-Palestinian because so many of their voters are Muslim. Well, that's about all I had to talk about today. Does anyone want to keep going, or should I stop? I bet everyone has a lot better things to do. So, let me know if there's anything else you want to talk about. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and say goodbye. I'll give you a minute or 2. We got still a little dance here. A little puppet dance. That can do. Alright then, let's go ahead and call it. It's all a day for the stream. Thanks so much if anyone was willing to listen. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you.